Imagine it's 1977 in America again. You're 14, 15 years old, living in Upper Michigan in the woods on an Air Force base. School has just gotten out. The girl you've been going out with since January has dumped you for the base bully, and you and your 3 other friends can't stand the thought of being around in base housing over the summer and bumping into them. So you get underneath the Voodoo Avenue and Explorer street sign and you have an epiphany. You say, guys, how about we go build a treehouse? And so they go off and they name it the Voodoo Hill Explorer Club, because if you keep going down Voodoo Avenue, it takes a deep dive down the road, and anybody who ever lived in this place knows what Voodoo Hill is. So that's how I got the idea to write the book. Now, when the boys go out and they start playing around out in the woods at their new fort, they spend their first night in the woods, and they all take turns because they're a little scared. They've done the bit of, I'm staying at Theo's house, I'm staying at Mark's house, I'm staying at Kirk's house, Kirk's staying at Theo's house again, or Lewis's house. And it's all, so when the boys sneak out into the woods without any of their parents knowing, and in the middle of the night, Lewis is getting up, it's his watch, and he gets up to go take an answer to nature's call. And as he's there, you know, peeing on a fern in front of him, he's kind of starts looking around in the dark light around him, and not but 10 feet in front of him, standing next to a tree, is something tall and furry, and it screeches, and he gets the hell scared out of him, and he starts screaming, and the other 3 come barreling out of the tent, and Lewis is screaming, saying, I saw Bigfoot. So the boys are in a trap here. They can't go to their moms and dads or the authorities and say, hey, we were approached last night out in the woods by Bigfoot, because they were all supposed to be staying at other people's houses. And if they claim they saw Bigfoot, it's in the height of the Leonard Nimoy series In Search Of, and no one is going to believe them. So they have to rough it out, and they start building on a treehouse, and weird things start happening from then on. And that's how the story grows. That's what the impetus of this newsletter is about. But I'm taking it a step further in bringing the fiction back into reality and talking about ways to camp in the woods, where places to go that are good camping grounds, what's the best equipment to use when you get there, how to build a tree house. And did you know there are adults who make real tree houses for getaways for adults, and you can find them on Airbnb? Well, there's some fun stuff we can write about, we can talk about, and we can learn and share about on the Voodoo Hill Explorer Club. And I'm asking you to subscribe. There's 4 different levels, as always. The free, the paid monthly, which is one rate, the paid annually, and you get 2 free. And then there's the Founders Club, and those are the people who I want there to be 15 for each group. I have 3 newsletters here on Substack, and I want them to be something of an advisory committee that helps supply ideas and thoughts on how to move forward with the page and shape the page, but also who are out listening to you, the reader, the viewer, with acquiring and gathering your stories and instances, and really making the page itself, the club, the virtual club, grow into something wonderful and fantastic. So please consider subscribing. I look forward to this newsletter. It's really a project that's been close to my heart for several years. I'm very, very, very close to a revision where a couple of years ago, HarperCollins even considered the premise of the book and liked it very much. So this is about making the book better, but it's also about sharing our adventures and living them vicariously through each other. And on the pages here and the comments in and suggestions that you add to make it even better and a better experience for those who like the outdoors better than the inside. So please consider subscribing, and I look forward to having you as part of the community, and let's get going and get building on the treehouse.